how to find massive real estate wholesaling profits in wholesaling real estate. What's up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Zach Ginn here.
And in today's video, we're going to show you exactly how we're able to get $50, $60, $70, even $80,000 wholesaling real estate spreads, and how you can do the same thing in your wholesaling real estate business. Before we get into it, guys, remember, you need to
smash that like button and hit that subscribe button to continue to receive the absolute best wholesaling information available on the internet today.
Everybody goes up to you and me and says, Rick, Zach, how are you able to do $50, $60, $70,000 wholesaling spreads? In most markets and for most wholesalers, it's inconceivable to make more than $15,000, $20,000 on a deal. And everyone says, you know, there's too much competition. It's too difficult to wholesale real estate, and you can't make good spreads. What do you say to those people?
You know what? The reality is, when I first started, $10,000 to $15,000, I was beyond ecstatic doing. I did it a lot. So I wound up just getting better at the game. It's just the truth. So after a while, after I did 30 or 40 transactions, is I start to notice tendencies of just little changes I could make. And I always ask myself, how can I make a $10,000 profit into 15 and 15 into 20? And then we fast forward all the way to six-figure deals. And a lot of it is experience. And I think we're here today to shed light on how to make more profit, bigger spreads on deals. And I'll give you my 19 years experience plus your experience and share it with our group.
Exactly. Here's the thing, because a lot of people, they hear what you say, and that's the truth. You know, it's like, hey, more experience, it just gets better. You're playing the game. You know, you start winning more, and that's the truth. That's a big reason why we're making $50,000 deals. But a lot of people are like, that doesn't translate well. Like, how do I translate on like pen to paper, like actual technique for most people to get $50,000? There's people that brand new, their first deals are like $40,000, $50,000. And that's really good for most markets, making $25,000, $30,000. But yeah. I mean, we're just bulldozing it through, doing 50 and even more. I mean, it all comes down to our experience, right?
Yeah. I mean, hands down. So the good news is, I'm not going to make you wait 19 years like I did to figure out how to do this, because I'm going to be honest with you, it took me 19 years to get to this point. But as I said, there's some little tweaks you can do on the deals you're working on now to actually potentially double your profit.
That's triple, quadruple in a lot of cases. But it really comes down to three really important things we've really pinpointed and why we're being more successful than others. And here's the best part about it. We can both share it out. And if you're in the market, we don't really care, because you're still not going to beat us at it. It's like, you know, they asked Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, like, how are you able, because most basketball players in the NBA, they'll score 5, 10 points a game. How do you score average what? Michael Jordan is averaging like 25, 30 points, you know, his last couple seasons when like he was in his prime. It's like, how do you do it? Then he'll just tell you, hey, I just practice like crazy, or I do this and I do all these shots. I stay after it. Everyone's like, well, Michael Jordan just gave his secret out why he's so good, but no one's willing to do it. So we're willing to give to anyone in our market, or if you want to come to our market, our secrets. And here it is. Number one of the three things is better marketing. I truly believe better marketing, just the more leads you get, the better chance of you hitting those home run $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 deals, right?
Yeah. And so when we say better marketing, is there's a huge tendency in the wholesaling community right now is what I call mass blast, like just throw out a ton of money, spread a ginormous net, and just see what you get into it. And the problem with that, it doesn't allow you to go after a niche list. You have such volume, you wind up spinning your wheels, chasing down hundreds and hundreds of leads. So when we say better marketing, it's just more focused. So the first thing I would do is dial in my list. How do we dial in our list? Go to niche lists. So any type of list, any type of court appointed or government list. We talk about code violations, which I love, which aren't like...
They're great. No one uses them. Guys, it's your water shut off list. I ask so many people, like we bring people on every Thursday and we talk to them. They're like, oh, I can't get any deals. Like, did you pull the water shut off list? Did you do the code? No, I did the big massive list that everyone, other YouTuber says. No, guys, if you do the government lists are very niched out. A lot of people I think have this sort of connotation. If you're doing a free list, it's not high quality leads. Like probates are free. And they are probably the highest quality lead you could possibly get, right?
By far.
That's the issue. People assume that if it's free, it's not high quality. And that's the furthest from the truth. It's a lot of work in these lists, so they should be better. So guys, it's the water shutoff list, the code violation list, the liens list. Even you can throw in some divorce lists, pre-foreclosures in there. What I'm telling you is the reason why these lists are so good is because no one's really going after them. And there's two ways. Number one, big YouTubers don't talk about it because they don't actually wholesale real estate. They don't flip houses. They flip students, like you always say. But number two is it's very difficult to go pull these lists without any help or knowledge. So that's why, guys, at freewholesaling.com, again, quick plug, that's where we share everything. It's all for free. If you guys want to know how I pulled them exactly, I don't have 5 hours in this video to break it down, but it all comes down to better marketing. And a quick secret on marketing.
There's no secrets.
You're going to be mad I'm going to reveal it, but
go ahead.
Pound for pound, we love the UFC, we love MMA, and, you go to the pound for pound rankings. I would say that the majority of our leads that turn into 50,000 plus deals, like margin lines, are probates, right?
Hands down. And guys, when we talk about better marketing, is as time progresses and you do more deals, you get to learn like more data. So we always talk about, data is everything. It's king. So as I did deals, and like one deal would make 30 grand and then one would make 10, it was a simple question, like from my accountant saying, you do more deals like this 30 grand. And that's what got me into really. So what you can do is do homework on the deals that you've done and see what list they came off, and you'll start to notice a pattern. And then when you find, okay, I'm doing a lot more deals on this, then you find the ones with the most high profit. And that's the story on how I found probates.
Yeah.
He says if you could just do more probates like that, if you just did 4 more probates, it'd be doing like 15 regular wholesale deals. And then that's where the quality over quantity theory was born.
Yeah, that is the absolute truth. And that's better marketing. And the next one here it's pretty simple, but just better acquisitions. When you're able to get more contracts, you can give those to more cash buyers. And a lot of these random deals that I remember, I talked to you, some deals we have, it's like, Dad, we're probably gonna make about 30 on this. Let me go bring it to some cash buyers and kind of what they see. And, we'll probably make 30. And they come back, they're like, we'll buy it for, 150. And we're like, we have it under contract for 90.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we're making 60 on this, not 30. Like, this happens all the time. So one thing about your acquisitions is just the more contracts you get, some of these deals where you'll accidentally just make the ARV way lower than it really should be. And just the more contracts you get, the better chance it's going to be a home run. It's like the more pitches you get thrown and you hit, the better chance of getting a home run. So your acquisitions is probably one of the most important parts. I think volume is really key on this. But for acquisitions, I can tell you right now, if you build more rapport with your seller, just on an average deal, this isn't even about this video, but if you build more rapport and connection with your seller on appointments or even doing virtual wholesaling over the phone, you can easily just almost double your assignment fees by just doing that one simple trick, right?
Yeah. I mean, guys, acquisitions is so important because it's the time that you connect with the seller. So we always recommend if you can go belly to belly, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
Because you can
in person
see, hear, and feel everything. But without going in the grave detail, it boils down to 2 real simple techniques. And if you can build the most rapport, meaning you connect with these people, it will give you such a huge advantage on like getting deals done. And guys, the more you can connect with them, the more they're going to open up to you, and the more it allows you to set up the best, what I call win-win situation.
Yeah.
If you guys will build rapport, you'll get win-win situations, and everybody walks away happy, feeling good, and you make plenty of money. Post the old days, I used to try to run people over and get it done as fast as possible. I'd rather you take an hour or two, spend someone. If it makes you an extra 30 grand, I don't know what other job's going to pay you that much per hour.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I build more rapport, talk to your sellers more, ask more questions. I think that's another really big one. Is the more questions you ask, the better connection you're going to build. And it really comes down to getting a price out of the seller. Even if you're like, give me a price. Let's say in the beginning, I decide I'm going to just do the minimum amount of rapport. and I say, hey, what's your price, Mr. Seller or missus Seller? They're going to tell you 150. I'm telling you right now, you build that rapport, you ask them the same question, they'll probably be at 120. You ask them, and you didn't ask the question a different way. All you basically did was just built more rapport there. So that is one thing I tell you. Acquisitions is just one of the biggest keys here.
And don't forget, conversations over scripts. They make a huge difference on your ability to connect with them on a rapport level. So if you have a robotic conversation with them, you're going to get robotic answers. Yeah. If you have a conversation like you're having with a family or a friend, you can help people out.
Yeah, I 100% there. And it makes it easier for you because you get more deals and you beat your competition easily. It happens all the time. And I truly believe the last part here, which is cash buyers. It's really, I think a lot of wholesalers, and this is probably one of the biggest ones I can talk about, is I always preach marketing. I mean, that's everything. Acquisitions is important. But for this specific video, if you don't want to make $1 million a year, most people's problems are probably through marketing. And if your competition's beating you or you think you have a competition problem, your acquisitions is the problem. Now, this specific video is why my margin's not doing too well. Most of the time, it's a cash buyer problem.
Correct. So we're not addressing if you got it under price for the right point. If you developed a conversation, built rapport, and created a win-win situation, you obviously have it on the right price. So we come to the cash buyers. And my rule number one is quality over quantity. I'd rather you have 50 quality cash buyers than 5,000 in like your database, because 485 of them are probably other wholesalers.
True. It's terrible. And the wholesalers coming in daisy chain is terrible. But what I can tell you is quality over quantity. And most of these people are not polling the cash buyers the right way. And I can tell you, freewholesaling.com, my favorite way to pull cash buyers is easily through Facebook groups. Facebook groups, going to listrei.com, LASTREI.com, that's PropStream, pulling the cash sales on listrei.com and cold calling them. It will give you a better tier of cash buyer. And that's the last thing I really wanted to point out was cash buyers have tiers. You know, there's top tier quality and there's lower tiers, you know, and not a lot of people talk about that. So a lower tier cash buyer is going to be that person that buys like 100 rental properties a year. They know their numbers really well and they want the most probably profit. And they're the slickest and best person for it. And the top tier one is going to be someone who came from a house flipping seminar and they just watched it on A&E or something. And they're like, I want to flip properties like these people. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars flipping houses. I want to do the same thing. And let me go call my realtor and go buy a house on the MLS. Like, you want to go after those people. And here's the cool part. Oh, Zach, how do I find these people, right? If you cold call cash sales, that A&E person that just flips houses, they just flipped their second house, they're going to be on that list.
They want more.
They're probably not going to be on that Facebook group list. Maybe they're on like a Bigger Pockets list or something, but Facebook group, but they're not going to be in like those niche cash buyer lists because they don't even know what a cash buyer is. So those are going to pop up on PropStream, the listrei.com lists, and that's how you get better tier. And the cool part about the tiers is, let's say I'm talking to that person that has 100 rentals versus the house flipper person, right? The cool part is, if let's say I get that contract for 120 under contract for 120 and I go to sell it for 200, you know, that house flipper person is probably going to pay me 200 for it. And they're ecstatic at 200. They're going to make like 15% on the flip, you know, for 6 months of work. They're, whoa, right?
Yeah.
The difference is if I go to that person that has all these rentals, he's probably going to offer me 160, you know? So, and then he's going to be salty at the end because he made $40,000.
Correct. And the other key to the cash buyers is you have to vet your cash buyers. I know you think like, well, Rick, I spent all this time qualifying motivated sellers. Listen, if you want quality over quantity, somebody has to pick up the phone. You can start with a text, but you got to enter the conversation. I'm talking about short conversations. You don't have to build like a rapport. You just have to qualify them. The problem with most of your cash buyers is they're not qualified. Yeah. I want to sell to someone that doesn't flip houses full time for a living. I know they're going to pay me the lowest amount. I want the guy that flips 1 to 3 a year. My favorite type of cash buyer. But I want to make sure he's got the money. How do I do that? I do a proof of funds. We teach you how to do this all on freewholesaling.com. Guys, vet your cash buyers. And when they get offended when you vet them, they're not a cash buyer. Move on to the next one. It will save you a ton of time and energy. And my best cash buyers always went through our vetting process without a hitch. The bad ones never get through it.
I'm telling you. So proof of funds, basically really quick. It's all at freewholesaling.com, but it's like, show me the money, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you go to me. I'm 20. Yeah, I'm 22. You're really going to buy my house. If I have a 22-year-old cash buyer, I'm going to say the same thing. Discriminating against 22-year-olds? No. Statistically, most 22-year-olds don't have $300K to put in a house, right?
Correct.
But guess what? Guess how you're going to figure out if I'm a real or not? First of all, I'm just going to show you my bank account and show you like 3 houses I bought. Just ask. And guess what? What are you going to do if I come back and say, hey, here's a funding letter from my partner, and he's going to give me funding for this?
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
I ball it up and throw it in the garbage.
That's it. Guys,
proof of funds is proof
of funds, not proof of lending approval.
No.
You know, we're going to get the whole points thing, and then the deal's going to be all messed up. You're going to lose the deal. So proof of funds, money in a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And now, guys, this is a little more advanced for some people watching this, but private money we're okay with. Obviously, if a cash buyer is private money, we're good with that. That's a proof of funds.
Yeah.
But hard money, no, it's a cash buyer, not a hard money buyer.
So hard money is a loan, and for full disclosure, most people who bring us a hard money loan, I know you're a newbie.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make financial sense. And by the way, that hard money person can blow it up all the way to the end of the closing, as long as they put down a hard deposit. But I still prefer to avoid hard money because in the end, it's still a loan.
You're here to do cash transactions.
Need permission.
So, guys, those are the 3 ways just to increase your leads, and that's the honest truth. Now, one thing I do have to tell you is, I'm just gonna be honest. Some of y'all are gonna be in a pipe dream, thinking you're gonna make $80,000 on a wholesaling deal. It really depends on the price in your market. So let's say I go to, Dayton, Ohio, where the average person is putting on a contract for 30, they're selling for 50. If a property is worth to a cash buyer 100, it's very hard to make 80, 90, $100,000. It's really your price point. Most $80,000 wholesaling deals you're going to get, the ARV really has to be over 200. It's just kind of how math works. It's really hard to get. If you sell a property for 60, you're not going to make $80,000 on a wholesale deal. Like, it doesn't even work. There has to be a big play with the ARV sometimes. So I'm telling you, if you're watching, you think you're going to make $60,000 on a wholesaling deal, maybe this video is going to help you make from $10,000 to $20,000 on a deal.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Here's the cool part. If you're in a market where it's like 60, 70,000, you don't have the benefit of getting the huge margins, but you have the benefit of more volume. And for most people, that's a better play to do. So I tell you that maybe this video, you're going to go from making 10 to 20. That's great. But just quick disclaimer, I would say if you're under $80,000 on your ARVs, it's going to be a lot tougher to do. And maybe you just want to triple your assignment fees.
Yeah, just the whole goal of this video is to teach you how to massively increase your profit margins.
That's
period.
It. So guys, I really appreciate it. Everything we talked about today is on freewholesaling.com. That is the ultimate wholesaling course. It has the most members in it. It is the #1 most in-depth wholesaling course from start to finish in wholesaling real estate. And it is
free.
It's free. So guys, check it out. Guys, smash that like button and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is Zach Ginn signing out.
Rick Ginn signing out.
Have a blessed one, guys. Thank you.
Thanks you.